everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It has been so long since I've filmed or posted. I've been really MIA. I think it's been 2 weeks since my last video. And then I had a whole reading vlog where I was swapping screen time for reading. Filmed the whole thing, did the whole challenge, and trashed it because I just waited too long to edit it, and then I was like, whatever. But that's why it's been so long. Hopefully this video actually makes it to YouTube. It's been a while since I filmed. I honestly haven't been reading a ton either. It's quite a busy time in my life right now because my boyfriend just got home from military school and he moved in with me. So that has been just busy, you know, catching up with him, hanging out with friends, all of that stuff. It's a new month. It is April 1st. And I'm trying to get back into a routine, get back to reading and posting and filming and all that. School has also just been crazy. I started a new class and the workload is so much. So yeah, right now I am actually filming instead of doing school, which probably shouldn't be doing, but YouTube is more important. Okay. One more sip of my Sherbet Swirl Honey. Wow, that was great. Today's video is going to be my March wrap up. So, March is where I hit a slump for sure. And I'm still in it right now. I haven't finished a book in a week or two. I just can't get into it. The only thing that I've been into reading right now is Keeping 13, which is a reread. So, I just haven't really been in the mood to read. Also, like I said, I've been really busy, so I haven't had time. But I'm gonna make it a priority this month to get back into it. Just get right into the March wrap up. So I read 7 books this month, and despite being in a reading slump, I would say it was a pretty good reading month in terms of the content of books. It doesn't really matter how much I'm reading as long as I'm finding good books. So that is fine, but I can't wait to share them with you guys today. So let's just get right into it. The first book I read in March was Restore Me, which is 5th book in the Shadowy series? I don't know. I feel like I read this 2 years ago. March was the longest month of my entire existence. I can't believe I read this in March. But, like I've said in the past wrap-ups, I'm not going to give too much on Shatter Me just because I don't want to give any spoilers. I'm in the middle of the series. But I rated this one a 4.75 stars. It was really good, and it left off on a cliffhanger, so I don't know how I've held off this long, not continuing the series. I just, haven't really wanted to pick it up. It's something I want to continue. I really would like to finish the series in April, just because I've been reading it for so long, but we'll see about that. So yeah, 4.75 stars. After that, I read the first novella in the Find Me novellas. There's 2 in here, so the one that I read was Shadow Me. What I liked about this novella is that it's in Kenji's point of view, and I love Kenji. I think he's hilarious, and he's one of my favorite characters in this series, so it was really nice to get his point of view in this book. But like I've said about the past novellas, it's just yes, it's more content in the series, but what is it giving? I don't know, is it necessary? I don't think so, but I guess you could say since these characters are very lovable, it's nice to get to spend more time with them, and it adds different perspectives to things. But again, I rated it 3 stars. It was just kind of mediocre. It was literally 75 pages, so it's just it was fine. After that, I read In Her Own League by Liz Tom40. I was so excited for the release of this book because, as you guys may or may not know, the Windy City series is one of my favorite book series of all time, and I was so sad to say goodbye to those characters after Rewind It Back came out. But I was so excited to get this last final book in this world, although I'm still so sad that it's over. If you haven't heard of this book, this follows Emmett and Reese, and Emmett is the baseball coach for 2 characters in the Windy City series, and then Reese is the boss of the MLB, I think. Basically, we have the girl, she's the boss of him. They can't be together because she's his boss and he's under her, and it's that forbidden romance. And we also like kind of get snippets of these characters obviously in the other books. I'm so happy that Liz Tomforty chose Emmett Montgomery to do a spin-off book for, because I loved him throughout the whole series and he was just a character that I really wanted to get to know more, and he did not disappoint. Never did I think I'd be thirsting over a mid to late 40-year-old man, but here we are. Emmett Montgomery. He's like probably like in my top book boyfriend. Something about him, like he just said the right things. He worships the ground that Reese walks on. And Reese is such a bad bitch. Like that's what I like about this series as well, is that all of the women are such powerful women. And they, like, all the men just like literally like, they're walking all the men like a fucking dog. I loved this. I rated it a 4.5 stars. The only reason it wasn't a 5 stars is just because like it wasn't giving me those 5-star feelings. I don't know, like I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love the couple, I love the characters, I love the series, but it just sits at a 4.5, but it was such an amazing book. And next book that I've read is I Who Have Never Known Men. This book is a very short book. It's actually all just one cohesive chapter, and it's something new for me, something I've never read before. And if you haven't heard of it before, basically there's this group of 39 women who are living in like this underground like prison bunker type deal, and we follow this one girl's point of view and how she kind of leads them to their escape out of this bunker and they go out into the world. This book is one that there's not much happening. There's not much action. There's not a ton of like mind-blowing things happening in this book, but the way the writing is so beautiful, and the way the story of like women empowerment and grief and friendship that is told in this is really amazing. First, I gave this like a 3 stars because I was like, okay, it was good. I read it in one day. I was like, it was good, but like not much was going on. But when I sat on it, I was like, that's kind of the point. The point is to like not have, like, you're just following these women surviving. Kind of like a tell to like how strong women are and how they can face anything. It's definitely like such a life-changing read, I would say. Like I still think about this all the time, and it's something that will definitely stick with me forever, and I rated it 4 stars. Next book I read was Dear Debbie by Frida McFadden. Gave my girl a chance again, and I didn't really love this one. I don't even remember much about it. I just know that I expected more of a psychological thriller, and I kind of just got this unhinged female main character, which is like, was very entertaining to read. Like she's the most unhinged character I've ever read about, and the things that she was doing, like I support women's wrongs and rights. Like I honestly like was loving that for her, even though she was like cuckoo bananas, but it just like didn't like hit for me. Like sure, it was entertaining as all Frida McFadden books are, but I just was like, meh. It's not like a necessary read, but it wasn't like I was gonna DNF it. So I just rated it 2 stars. Like I don't know, it just like wasn't what I was expecting, I guess. Next book that I read was The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. This book I have been putting off for so long because it is so big. It's historical fiction, and I'm not someone who's really ever dabbled in historical fiction, so it was definitely new for me, but I finally picked it up, and I'm so happy that I did. This book changed my life. If you don't know what this is about, we're following 2 sisters, Isabel and Vianne, and this takes place in France during World War II. So we're following these 2 sisters, and they are like kind of complete polar opposites. We're going through both their storylines and how they are navigating this war. And it is just such a beautiful story about, again, like women's strength and women empowerment, and like the sad and devastating things that happen in World War II. I really enjoyed about it is that we don't really get a lot of women's perspective when we learn about World War II in high school and stuff. Like we just get like the soldiers and the history of it in terms of the political aspects and all that, but we rarely get like what the women at home are going through. And I think that's a really important perspective to talk about, and that was like done really well in this story. We got to learn like how they were making an impact on this war and how they were helping people. It's the first Kristen Hanna book I have ever read, and it was 5 stars. Like, I want to read more of her books. It was one of the most devastating books I've ever read, but also something that like will stick with me forever. One of my all-time favorite books. I just love this book. Like, it was one heartbreaking thing after the other, but it was just like, it wasn't one of those books that's just like throwing in trauma and heartbreak for no reason. Like, everything was purposeful, everything was done so well, and yes, this is just one of the best books I've ever read. The final book that I read in March was Slapshot, and that is in the DC Star series. It is the 3rd book in the DC Star series. So this book follows Hudson and Madeline. Madeline is a single mom living in Las Vegas, and she recently lost her job as a cook. She has a daughter who is deaf, and she's kind of just like by herself, along with some of the help from her parents kind of taking care of her daughter, and she's looking for a new job. So she calls up Piper from the previous book and is like, hey, like, what do you have for me? Are there any jobs for me in terms of cooking? And she was like, I have the job for you. Leads her to Hudson. Hudson has been looking for a private chef, and none of them have worked for him. They've been there for the wrong reasons, you know, not taking care of him. And she was like, okay, I'm gonna move to DC and I am going to be Hudson's private chef. So their love story, and Hudson is one of my top MMCs. Like, I loved him so much. He's so golden retriever. He is so kind and understanding, and like his dynamic with Madeline's daughter was so adorable. Honestly, like the whole hockey team and like the previous books and everything, their whole dynamic with Madeline's daughter, so cute, and their relationship was really sweet and I loved it. It's like forced proximity, slow burn, all the things. If you haven't heard of this series before, it's like a hockey romance series, and it's honestly really good. I rated this book a 4 stars. I literally was getting 5-star feelings in the beginning, but then it kind of lost me, and I was like, yeah, this definitely isn't a 5 stars, because there became a point where it was going really slow and I was just like not like looking forward to reading it. But I ended up giving it a 4 stars, and it was super good. I loved it, and I love this series so much. That is my March reading wrap up. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to try my best to keep filming and posting. I just am in such a reading slump, and just like a slump in general, that I just like haven't really had any ideas for videos. I haven't been reading, and I'm just really in a busy time of life right now. You know, what other videos you would like to see, any reading challenges, reading vlogs, I'm willing to try. Oh, anything. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.